Right, welcome, Dave. We're obviously looking through the collection of all the shirts.
This is the best moment of our day.
This has been the highlight.
We're looking through the heritage history of Dave Attwood as a rugby player.
Yeah, and obviously we're starting there back whenever you made your debut. Apparently you were number 8, 1885. No,
yes, yeah.
All jokes aside.
It was a tight-fitting one, though.
That's a bit retro, isn't it?
Yeah. How heavy is this, though?
Yeah, pretty heavy. That's an extra couple of kilos.
Yeah.
I could probably do with that if
Yes,
I'm
yeah,
just
it's not
packing
bad.
down in the scrum. That's actually probably the oldest jersey I think I've ever seen. I don't even know who's the sponsor.
Sweb. Sweb Electric.
Don't know. Sorry. Must be a thing.
You're almost as old as me. You should.
Oh, listen, old bones. Don't start. We're going to start actually debut.
Debut.
So debut Newcastle Falcons.
Yes.
2011.
Newcastle away.
What
up on the. I think it was before they had the 4G pitch in.
What do you remember of the day?
The Flames. The Flames. I hadn't done any pre-season. I arrived with a groin injury from Gloucester, so I skipped all pre-season. No conditioning, no weights, no nothing. First game of the season, straight into the mix.
How tired?
I'm going to put myself at, out of 10, 308.
Yeah, very, very.
Like after 8 minutes, I was like, can we have a break now, please?
But a big win.
I actually think we did win.
Yeah, 22-0, I believe.
Was it? I mean, it was an ugly game. I remember it was the first time as a starter at Bath that I had gone up to Newcastle, and I think we got the bus up there. And it was a long
Took
ride.
10 hours back then, didn't it?
Yeah, and it was brutal.
Before motorways existed?
Yeah, it was a good, good gritty win.
Quite a nice jersey though, I have to say, quite a nice jersey. If we move sideways just slightly to the Prem final one, and that what a day that must have been.
Yeah, it was. Normally at the Prem final, you don't get like the home fans. It doesn't feel like a home stadium, but for us on that day, it felt like a supercharged wreck.
Yeah.
Like it was genuinely so clear how many Bath fans were there. The club had done an amazing job with their social media, geeing people up, getting people excited about the game. The buy-in was amazing. We were slaying it all year, to be fair. George Ford running the show at 10.
Who was in the second row with you that day?
Stuart Hooper would have been in second row with me. Don Day also in the pack then.
Is that when Big Matt Garvey was
Slamming Sam Burgess was rolling at 6. Matt Garvey, I think Matt Garvey might not have made the cut. Carl Ferns on the bench. Leroy Houston trucking around.
It's a pretty good team.
Big names in that team. We had a big, heavy, tight side of the scrum there. Davey Wilson, 135 kgs, Davey Wilson. Myself, I was no spring chicken back then.
There is a 100th jersey in there somewhere. The first one that's kind of popped up though, the 150.
Yeah, so that was my 150th appearance in season. I think this was probably my favourite kit.
I like that.
The white shorts, the white socks. We looked clean, fresh. We didn't have a great season that year, unfortunately. I did have a great season. I was Players Player of the Year, Forward of the Year.
Well, congratulations. Do you remember how many years it took you to hit the 150? Because 150 is a big number for.
Well, I'd obviously had my Rogue on loan season out in Toulon, but it was about 8 seasons worth of rugby, which I felt like was a significant contribution. I'd obviously, for a long time, I was in the EPS and away with England, so a lot of those fixtures I missed out with international duty. But I was, as a younger man, I was robust, thick set. A young Matt Garvey, you might say.
Oh no. If we compare that away kit to one of the more standoutish away kits.
Well, there was a tradition. We got well, you can see some of the more vintage variety, obviously, with the teachers.
That's unbelievable.
At Cotton Oxford, how good? So this is Bath fans of yesteryear, or to be honest, a lot of Bath fans of this year will think of Bath in this with the Gus Scotts and John Callards and Barnsies and people like that. And this away kit was obviously a kind of slight homage to that. But I know I'd just left the club at the time they employed this, but this was quite an exciting kit. I like this. A lot of fans picked this one up. Quite excited to have something so loud and a bit different.
Okay, so we were just chatting briefly before the cam came on. Obviously, this is not his jersey.
This is not his jersey.
Under 14 boys, but. Give us a little bit of history around that jersey itself.
So this actually was the jersey worn by the Bath team. I made my first senior rugby appearance against. So I was playing for Bristol, came off the bench the last 5 minutes, and Danny Grucock in that jersey, not that specific jersey, but
you wouldn't get around his arm.
In that kit, battered me for about 8 minutes. And it was the most unwelcome welcome to the Premiership I'd ever experienced.
Made you the man you are today.
It did, in some fashion. So
No,
this will always be synonymous with Bath for me.
Yeah.
This actually might be Joe Maddox's jersey. He's about that small. You look at the weight of some of these older jerseys, and the technology that kind of goes into it is like it's night and day. Like we're lighter, faster, retaining less water.
That's the science, is it?
That's the science in the shirt.
I think this year's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the new one's actually a replica of the old European.
Yeah.
Which is kind of paying homage to.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of tread back to the Bath Bree finals and things like that, where
and obviously Big JC was knocking about, tearing up, wasn't he?
The similarities are pretty clear.
I'd love to see a collar brought back in, like a
yeah. I do like a collar. We've gone away from them in recent years, haven't we? Everyone's kind of got this kind of tidy neck, but there's something really vintage. And then obviously this year's European kit.
So like the players would argue this is their favourite.
Yeah. Easily this is the best fitting kit. And I also think it looks the best.
Colour.
Yeah. The whole strip with the dark blue shorts and socks. It's a really tidy kit there.
Big European days, that'll be nice to put on and
bit of confidence heading down to Toulon this year.
Fingers crossed. So if you had to pick, which is your favourite?
My favourite shirt is the white one. I made my 150th club appearance in.
That's the one that you.
As you see, it was a really clean, nice, significant away shirt. I like the simple contrast. The more black you bring into the away shirt, the more of the home vibe it brings. So that contrast was really nice.
I don't know if we're allowed to do this, and you can cut it out if you want, but which of them was your least favourite? Which is the one that you put on and you were like, oh no?
I will be honest, some people might upset them, but it was this shirt.
Because of the sleeves? You've been
it was too much black. Yeah, it was too much black. I like the gold, obviously 150th year of the club, big celebrations. We did a lot of really cool stuff that year. But I got to be honest, it really was to play in my least favourite looking shirt.
Okay, so Dave Attwood still rolling out in 10 years' time.
Yeah.
Well doable.
I got loads of time. Like
what?
He's working.
Just be careful. We got a big session later. What would you like to see in the jersey going forward?
I like a big contrast in the wages. I quite like the yellow. I felt like that was really nice. The Flames, at the time we hated the Flames, but I'm actually quite nostalgic for the Flames.
You've grown to like the
Yeah,
Flames.
I've grown, because it makes that season stand out quite a lot. And particularly if you go on to achieve anything or do anything really meaningful, then that's really important. A home shirt, Bath Rugby, should be blue, black and white stripes, hoops. We shouldn't go away from that. The away shirt should be slightly thematic. I don't want to see anything too garish, but yellow or white is fine for me. Obviously yellow is going to be bright blue shorts and bright blue socks. And then the European shirt. I think once we re-establish ourselves in kind of pedigree of Champions Cup rugby, then we can get a little bit Stade Francais, a little pink or something like that. But until we do that, I think
be good for me.
smart understated. What do you mean pink's not good for you?
Well, I was like a metamorph suit.
Have you seen you in the sun?
No, there's a couple of lovely jerseys in there, very nostalgic with the 150th. There is a 100th in there somewhere. Debut across to the game, the one that you wore in some big finals, and hopefully we can put some pride into the more recent ones for this season.
Fingers crossed. Thanks guys, thanks for sharing our journey through my history with Bath Rugby with me and Niall.